Okay, so if you've found the link to this video, it is likely because you've purchased our tortoise food and you want to know what you're getting with that purchase. This is our yard, and so we know what has and hasn't been put here. We don't use any herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, or anything like that. You can see this is our wild growing tomato here. It's coming to fruit very well. You can see some really big. This wouldn't really go into your tortoise food here. I'm going to kind of keep going unless you had a tortoise specific species that can eat tomato, which there are a few of. However, you can kind of come over here and see we have mellow growing wild. We'll come through, pick all this. We really go after fresh or really young mellow, as tortoises take to that the best. There are a ton of dandelions, and we have various species of those growing wild. We can clip grass if that's something you're looking for. We let this grass kind of run wild. We take this down every other month or so, but it's just great cover for our plants back here. Again, we kind of keep, I just did a harvest, so we took the majority of the flowers, but we take these flowers all from the dandelions, and then we actually dehydrate what we don't use and clip and sell what we can. So that's another big one. We get you guys a whole bag of dandelion at least, because this is just an everyday feeder and an absolute superfood for our tortoises. Now in this enclosure here, this enclosure is specific to carrot. So these is all carrot cuttings, clippings, and this grows in this little enclosure we've built here. I'll go ahead and pull one just for the video purposes, just to show. So there's one here. I'll make sure I eat this so it doesn't go to waste. But so we include clippings as well as a few carrots in this purchase. This here is our mulberry tree. This is another great superfood for your tortoises at all ages. They love this stuff. And this is a tree we would harvest from. And again, another safe feed all year round. The front of our enclosure is filled with tons of foods, and I'll take you through some where we would harvest from. These have gone to bolt, but this is all romaine here. So we'll get more growing here, going into the fall, but we would still take, they would still eat this. We would take clippings from what's remaining of the romaine and include that in the purchase. Down here is kale. Kale is another superfood for your tortoises. This should be just mixed into their diet. I wouldn't feed it every single day, but another thing that you'd be getting clippings of. Back here we have sweet mint, and our mint plants grow vigorously. I'm just gonna take a second here to appreciate Leo. Hi, buddy. So that's another thing you'd get tons of clippings of, as well as our other mint variants here. So this is another mint variant. I believe we have peppermint and sweet mint are the two here, located here. We have everything from easy, dandelion, clover, all just right here. Zucchini, squash, all growing, all small clippings that you would get in this purchase. If we kind of come along here, we go into our more of our herbs area. We have oregano growing here, sage growing right over here, some artichoke. Another big one where you get a ton of is rose. We have hibiscus in the back there, and we usually like to include a couple of these prickly pear cactus, the smaller, younger ones. This is something tortoises would go absolutely crazy for. Even young tortoises, you can feed that too. As mentioned earlier, this is our hibiscus here. We get tons of flowers and cuttings from there. We've just made a cut, so this one's pruned pretty good, as we've sold 2 bags just a bit ago. Lastly, this is actually the tortoise's favorite mint, and this mint has no scent. Younger tortoises prefer this non-scented mint variant, but this here would be something you could feed to your tortoises, and they would prefer over either your sweet or your peppermint. We're constantly getting cuttings and plantings from our local gardeners. We have things like chard coming, more variants of pumpkin, which we've already have there in the back. So we're constantly adding to this list. One thing I didn't really take us through, but you do get, and we always make sure we include a little bit of, our succulents. That would vary on the tortoise. Usually the older tortoises would eat it, but it's pretty rare to find your younger baby tortoises going after your succulents. So we try to figure out the species, we always ask, and the age, and kind of vary the diet to there. Things that we include always are some dried form of food. Normally dandelion, can be something else. If it's not dandelion, upon request we'll do a whole bag of dried timothy grass. So that stuff's getting more expensive, so we're still trying to include that as often as possible. Timothy hay is just getting more pricey these days. But yeah, so if you found this video, we're just taking you through our garden, some of the variants. I didn't get everything, but I got all the important things, and it's important to give your tortoise as much variety as possible. I've constantly mentioned this statistic. Scientists studied a stool from a leopard tortoise and found over 250 plants in that single stool. So they would normally get a ton of variation of food in the wild, and that's what you want to try to give them here in captivity.